What's going on, everybody? Ryan Thompson, the Assumable Guy. This is the Assumable Guy Show. Today we're talking about the most frustrating moment in this entire process. You found the house, you ran the numbers, and then somebody at a bank tells you that loan is not assumable. This one is for buyers, sellers. Stick around because they will try this exact line on you too. Here we go. So picture this. You're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath place. The seller has an FHA loan at 2.75%. You already did the math in your head, and the payment actually works for once. Somebody calls the loan servicer to get the ball rolling, and whoever picks up the phone goes, "Yes, sorry, that loan is not assumable." And the whole thing just deflates. You already pictured yourself in that house, right? All right, the answer. If it's an FHA loan, a VA loan, or a USDA loan, that loan is assumable. That is not my opinion. It is written into the loan documents the seller signed at their closing. The bank does not get a vote. Assumable. Assumable, assumable, assumable. They are lying. Do not fall for it. Do not listen to them. Do not take no for an answer. Now, why would they lie about that? Why would a bank turn away a perfectly good buyer? Think about that for a second. Because they've got a 2.75% loan sitting on their books, making them almost nothing. If your assumption falls apart, that house sells the normal way. That old loan gets paid off, and they get to lend that same money right back out at today's rate. Look at it from their side of the desk. On a $400,000 loan, 2.75% brings them about $11,000 a year. 6.5% brings them $26,000. $26,000 versus 11. Same money, same house. They're not confused. They're motivated. Here's what most people don't realize, though. When you hear the bank said no, that is almost never actually the bank. 3 totally different people say that sentence, and each one needs a different fix from you. Number 1, the listing agent. This is the most common one by a mile. They saw the word assumption, got nervous, and shut it down before it ever reached the seller. They don't know how it works, and they don't want to look dumb in front of their client. That's a gatekeeper. So I call them directly, and I always start with an offer instead of a question. An agent with a live offer in their hand gets curious real fast. Number 2, the frontline rep at the loan servicer. That's a call center. Somebody reading off a screen. I promise you that person cannot approve an assumption, and they cannot deny one either. They are not the decision maker. We just have to get past them. Number 3, the seller. And sometimes this one is a real no. A VA seller might not want to leave their entitlement with the property, and that is completely their call. Only about 10 to 20% of them say yes, but notice the difference. I don't want to is a totally different sentence than it's not assumable. One is a choice. The other one is false. Now I know what you're thinking. You're going, okay, Ryan, but the bank told me. Like the actual bank. Who am I to argue with a bank, right? You're the buyer. And on this one, you're right and they're wrong. So here's what we do about it. 4 moves, move 1. Ask them to put it in writing. Just that. Can you send me that in an email? I would say 90% of the time the no disappears right there because nobody wants their name on a document saying they blocked a federally assumable loan. Move 2. This is the little hack, and it's my favorite one. You ask this exact question. Should we get FHA or VA involved? That's it. That's the whole thing. The lender instantly gets in gear because these loans are backed by the government. And the last thing a servicer wants is a federal agency asking why they're stonewalling an assumption. The VA actually sent out a circular reminding servicers they have to allow these or they can lose the ability to service VA loans at all. Move 3, we bring in an assumption processor. These are the people who do this all day. They hold the bank's feet to the fire. When the bank asks for something irrelevant for the 4th time, the processor tells them, you don't need that. Keep moving. I don't do a single one of these deals without one. Move 4. We keep the deal alive while we push. We're not sitting around waiting. We stay in contract. We keep the deadlines protected, and we keep looking. Let me tell you about Jeremy. He found a place at $415,000 and got told exactly this. Not assumable. Dead in the water. He almost walked. We asked for it in writing. The servicer went quiet, and then we brought a processor in. Jeremy closed. 2.65% rate, $21,000 down. And this is where it gets real. His payment on that assumed loan is about $1,588 a month. A brand new loan on that same house at 6.5% would have been about $2,490. That's a little over $900 a month. $900 a month on the same house in the same neighborhood. That's almost $11,000 a year. That's a really nice family vacation every single year. That's maxing out a retirement account. Over the life of that loan, it's north of $300,000. He got all of that because he didn't accept the first no. Now, I want to make this super clear because I'm not going to pretend every no is fake. Sometimes it's a real no. If the seller has a conventional loan, that one usually isn't assumable, and no amount of pushing changes it. And you still have to qualify. Income, debt to income, the whole thing. FHA assumptions run about a 90% approval rate when the buyer is solid and there's no competing offer. So it's not magic. It's just that you didn't qualify and this loan isn't assumable are two completely different answers, and the bank will happily blur them together if you let them. Now, sellers, here's what this means for you, because you're going to hear this too. You call your own servicer to ask about selling as an assumable, and some rep tells you your loan can't be assumed. Your loan, the one you signed. Same playbook. Get it in writing. Say the FHA or VA line and know what you're actually holding, because a 2.65% rate is the biggest marketing advantage you've got. Two identical houses on the same street, same price. One needs a new loan at 6.5. One comes with a rate in the 2s and saves the buyer $900 a month. Whose house sells faster? You already know. Don't let a call center rep talk you out of your best asset, so do not take the first no. Get it in writing, ask about FHA and VA, get a processor involved, and keep going. There are over 1,200 assumable properties on my list in Colorado, and only about 25% of them are even tagged in the MLS. The no is usually just friction. Push through it. All right, let's go get some sweet properties. I'm Ryan Thompson. This is the Assumable Guy Show. If you want to see if one of these makes sense for you, hit up assumableguy.com or DM me on Instagram at @assumable.guy. I'll run the numbers for you. No pressure, just math. Next episode, sellers, this one's yours. Will selling my home as an assumable take forever? I'm going to walk you through what that timeline actually looks like week by week and why those extra few weeks usually put more money in your pocket, not less. See you on the next one.